Coming up in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the wall location line in Revit. Welcome to a new tutorial. I'm the Revit Man, and in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the wall location line in Revit and how to use it to your advantage when modeling. Before we dive into the tutorial, take a second to click that subscribe button so that when I upload new videos, you won't miss a thing. Alright, let's dive into Revit. So we're going to use the wall tool. So you can select the wall or you can type WA, which is the keyboard shortcut for wall. Now, before we draw the wall, we want to make sure that we're using a compound wall type. So a compound wall is one with layers in it. So if you want to learn how to create a compound wall type, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. For the case of this tutorial, we're going to use this exterior brick on metal stud wall. Now the main thing we're going to be focusing on in this tutorial is this spot right here in the options bar, this location line. So by default, Revit defaults to wall center line. So now when I go here to click out here in the drawing space to start drawing the wall, you'll see that I'm drawing from the wall center line. But you'll also notice that the location line is grayed out in the options bar. So you need to make sure that you set this location line either before or after you draw the wall. So the wall center line, I mean, that is pretty self-explanatory as to what the wall center line is. It's literally at the midpoint of whatever wall assembly you are using. Now, there are other options here that you can set it to. So you can set it to core center line, core face, in the interior or the exterior. If you don't know what the core is the structural component of the wall. So in the case of the wall that we are using, that is the metal stud partition. So the metal stud here, you can see I have it defined here with these three blue lines. So you've got your core center line, so that's the center of the structural layer. And then you've got your core face interior and your core face exterior of the wall. You can also set it to finish face exterior and finish face interior. So these are pretty self-explanatory. It is literally going to be the outside face or the inside face of the wall when you are drawing. So how would you use this wall location line then in an actual project? So I think it's very important that you understand how to use the location line, because there are circumstances that come up on an actual project where you might want to use these parameters. Mainly like the interior or exterior face parameters is one I use a lot, because sometimes when I'm drawing I might want to maintain an exterior dimension. Say I want to draw a 20 by 30 foot building. I can go and define the location line to the exterior, and then when I'm drawing a rectangle I can go and use the temporary dimensions then automatically to set a 20 by 30 and not have to worry about going back and adjusting that later because I didn't hit the 20 by 30 correctly when I was drawing the wall. Same with the interior. So if you're trying to maintain a certain distance or interior clear dimension of a room or a building, you can go and set it to interior face and then set your parameters or however you're defining what that distance is from the interior face. I use wall center line a lot, especially when I'm doing like demising walls between units in a multifamily circumstance, or in like a hospitality building where I'm dividing between guest rooms, because I want to define the center point of that wall because I want it to be centered between other locations, or I'm often drawing that at the center line. Now for the core boundaries, I'm often using this one for the structural part of the wall. And what I mean by that is, in most cases, you want to align either the interior or the exterior or the core center line with some other structural element. So the one I use a lot is, we have the structural engineer defines the edge of slab, and I want to make sure that my wall core lines up with the edge of that floor assembly. So I'll justify my wall to be exterior core face, and then I can go and draw that wall at that floor line. Alright, so a couple of tips and tricks here to improve your wall location line knowledge. So if I select this wall, you'll notice that these two dots here that help us to change the length of the wall, those will always default to where that wall location line is set. So now if I go over to the properties palette, so this is where you can change the wall location line after you've drawn the wall, is over in the properties palette. You can change that to, if I want to go to finish face exterior, and you'll notice that those dots that handle how you're manipulating the wall change to that location line. So if you don't know where the wall location line is set on a particular wall without looking at the properties palette, you can know right away by those dots that help you adjust the wall. Also take note of the double arrow here. This is a flip wall tool that flips the interior with the exterior of the wall. Now, how this plays into the location line is it flips that wall about that location line. So in this instance, I have it set to finish face exterior. If I click that, the wall flips about that exterior plane. So I find this happening a lot for people who aren't familiar with this particular feature. I always make sure to go in, and if I want the wall to stay where it is, I just want the interior and exterior plane to be swapped, make sure you go and set the wall location line to wall center line before you click that double arrow. Now the wall stays in the same location and the interior and exterior face just get flipped. Alright, so that wraps up everything that you need to know about the wall location line. I hope it helps improve your modeling efficiency. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that when I upload new content, you get notified. And if you have any comments or questions about the content covered in this tutorial, make sure you put that in the comments below. Thanks for watching.